What's up, everyone? It finally arrived. Nemesis from Awaken Realms. Let's get this unboxed. Alright, first we have some plastic wrap that needs to come out of there. Easy enough. And we have... So I really like, I'll just say, because it's an unboxing, I'll talk about, this is a really awesome thing to do, is to just sell me an entire package. So it's not just as if I pre-ordered a game on Kickstarter. It's more of that I helped bring this project to life. And these types of things just feel more like a thank you than anything else. So I'll tell you right off the bat, this makes me really, really happy. And then, I'm just going to remove some of the tape real quick. Alright. The box flips open, and right on top we have our Kickstarter bonus content. Now, this is not the stretch goals. This is just bonus content. So I'll get to this at the end, because if you're buying this game, I think it's going to be sold in stores, but if you're buying this game in stores, you wouldn't be getting that stuff. So I'll do that stuff at the end. Alright, this is a giant box. So, here we go. Wow. Alright, so this box is heavy. This box gives Gloomhaven a run for its money. It's probably a good 10-pound box. You can hear it hitting the table here. It's no child's toy for sure. So let's get this wrapping off. And in the back, this definitely has an awesome back to it. You can see it shows what the game looks like set up. Shows the miniatures. As people have pointed out, the miniatures are all the computer generated miniatures and not the actual sculpts, which is a little weird at this point that they still do that, but we'll figure that stuff out in a little bit. So I'm going to do this unboxing a little different from any of the ones that you may have watched from me before. I'm going to overlay pictures of the things up close every time we get to something that we need to look closer at. So we have our cover, and we have first the game manual that matches the cover here. So very cool. I'll definitely, when I review, talk about the rule sheet. This looks like just gigantic cards that help you remember how to do things, it looks like. Alright, so here's our first set of tokens. We have, oh, they punch out very easy. They're nice thick cardstock. Then these are the rooms. Wow. We've got our intruder board, which was a stretch goal. But none of the stretch goals are Kickstarter exclusive, so here's some of the engines, so they're all popping out really, really easily. Then we have our character sheets, which is something that I want to see separately. So here's the character sheet. Awesome color saturation. That's really, really cool. Those look really good, and they're really thick cardboard, which is great, because that is so much better than when they use paper boards. And here are all the little tokens, and they punch out exactly the same. Real easy, absolutely no like flash left on there. They're punching out, and the little ones punch out perfectly as well. So that is awesome. What I'm trying to do is look closely here. You can see there's a lot of bleed on this one and on these ones here, but they look to be, let's see, for the most part, yeah, for the most part they're they're fine when they pop out of there. I guess they were just trying to make sure that they had enough room for error in manufacturing. On this one, we have the first player token, which is Astronaut Cat. But if you were part of the Kickstarter in the stretch goal box that is coming separately, that is going to have a cat miniature. And then these are the little doors. And then something really cool that they added was this, in which this pops into here, and then this pops in like so, and there you go, like this, and it sits out like this on the table, and your game sits on that, so you get a little display board for your game if you want it. I'll never use that because I put my games on a shelf, but there you go. All right, now getting into more components here. Let's move this around and see if I can show as much of the board as possible. Just knock the camera around, that's fine. Okay, so there is the board. The board is quite large. Takes up the whole kitchen table. It's two-sided, which is pretty awesome. It's also very well detailed, very easy to see. I can see the 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, 2. I can read it very clearly. I don't know how this would be for somebody who has color deficiencies or color blindness. It'd probably be pretty difficult. But I think maybe because it's only using these couple of sections of the blue, and then this is the only red that I see. I don't know. You'd have to let me know in the comments below if this is something that you have a concern with, if you're somebody who suffers from that and is unable to see those colors. Did they pick good colors, or is this one where they seem to have not taken that into consideration? And if you're thinking, oh my god, why is he talking about that? It's important. It's important to the people that it matters to, and if they're watching an unboxing and they want to know, can I even see this game? That would be important things for them to know now, wouldn't it? Alright, so I'll slide this back over here. And the first thing we have here are our little plastic fire tokens. So we have these little fire tokens. The plastic. That's pretty cool. We have the scanner. You insert your contamination card here, and that way you can scan to find out if you're infected or not. We have dice. Let's pop these open and see how chunky they are. Oh, dropped one on the ground and it ran away. So we have two 10-sided dice and two 6-sided dice. Seems like this vacuum seal thing as well is holding everything in place really well. We have some little plastic gears. I don't need to take these out, they're just little plastic gears. We have our noise tokens, which I might keep these out of the box so that I can also use these for Zombicide, because these would be perfect for both games. We have our Nemesis branded bag to keep all of our tokens in. We have our standees, just little plastic standees. These are for the doors. We have our plastic / glass looking markers that are going to be used as sliders on the board. That way you can see through them. We have our little red clear plastic cubes. Not sure what they're used for yet. Maybe damage, maybe something else. We'll find out. Colors for the base so that we don't confuse our characters. And we have the things that I'll probably never, ever use. Let's be honest. Is the card holders. They may give me a chance to practice some cool coloring. I might try to paint them up, but may not. We'll see how I feel. But the point is I'll probably never use those. I I like to hold the cards in my hand and like feel like I'm playing them. With those just sitting in front of me, I'm gonna feel like I'm not really participating as much. All right, so that gets us into the bottom layers of the game. And in the bottom layers, we have, of course, the miniatures. So I'm going to talk about the miniatures, and I will have them pop up on the screen here for you. So first we have all of the heroes. So we have, the game comes with 6 heroes. I'm not exactly sure what all of them are. I know that there's a captain, and there's a medic, and there's some other ones. Their detail is actually really good. Their facial detail is on point. I would say that their facial detail is actually better than Simon's. Yeah, their facial detail is really nice. Wow. The one person looks kind of bloated and weird, but that's okay. Everyone's body's different. And yeah, so I would say that the detail is awesome. The bases are really cool. I mean, they're very small bases. They're 20 mil bases, I think. Not 25 or 30 mil bases, but next up we have the bad guys, and we'll just go through them all. I mean, the detail on these are stunning. I can tell you this, if you were worried about the detail on these miniatures from some of the other games from Awaken Realms, they've sorted it out. They've definitely sorted out the detail. What I'm looking for is trying to find out if there are any real problems with construction. And what I am seeing, we'll cut back to the live shot here. Cut back to the live shot, and you can see here where the arms are attached. There's not the best gluing. Now, you can see on some of the other ones, the gluing's a little bit better. It looks like there's a giant gap. So there's a gap on this one. This is what the gap should look like sunken in, where this is a carapace, where this part here is a carapace on top of this. But you can see here that they're kind of like side by side, and then this one it's switched. That same thing's happening on the right hand side. So there are still some problems. And we have the bigger alien with a tail that is just absolutely incredible. Wow. These are some of the best miniatures that I have, that I own. These are incredible. There's so little flash and mold lines on these as well. These minis are fantastic. Now we have the little teeny tiny ones that are more like tokens, but even them, I'm really like flabbergasted with how good these look. They just look absolutely incredible. Alright, we have bigger bosses here. Bigger, scarier aliens. Even with scenery. I would call this like the Warlord. I don't know what the names are of them, but wow. I thought that these were going to be a quick paint job. But these guys are going to be incredible to paint. Now let's cut back to live again. You can see here the glue is, they're not glued properly right there. That's going to take some bonding. Also up here around the top of his hip and like in here. So they're not perfect. They're not perfect, but look at that detail. Wow. And then finally, we have the big monster. Look at this. This is incredible. She is huge. This is the queen, of course. See, the face is a little weird in the way that it's glued. But the detail is just amazing. And if you don't paint, I think you would be totally happy with these. If you paint, you're going to have to spend a little bit of time taking care of them. But we have these 3 hooks left over here that are in there. And I don't know if they go like this or if they go like this, or if they don't do that at all, do they stick to her somewhere? I don't know. I'll have to figure it out, but they're just kind of in the box. The final thing we're going to look at is the cards. So we have like our action deck cards here. It says action on the back. And the cards are... so these are the contamination cards. And the cards are very sturdy. They're like hard to bend, which is a great thing. They are like a matte finish, so they're not glossy. I think that the order of how I like the cards, top tier is linen finished, next is matte finish, then finally gloss finish. So I like the matte finish more than I would like gloss. They're very like easy to hold and easy to, you know, drag across the table and not slip all over the place and scuff them up. But I think that's enough about this game. So real quick to cut back in here, this is the storage solution, and I wanted to show you first a couple things that I figured out. Number one, these missing pieces here that we saw earlier connect to the back of these models here. So I don't know if they broke off in shipping, if they were supposed to be broken off, but I will be gluing those back on, and they look like they just popped off cleanly. That is a negative though, and it really does suck that they weren't able to find a storage solution perfect enough to keep the miniatures safe. But storage wise, this is one of the best included ones I've ever seen. First off, it holds all of the punched out room tokens there. You have two spaces here that say save for if you it's like save space in case you put sleeves on your cards and you need all that space. I put all of my tokens down in here, which I'll show you in a second after this piece goes on. So all of the aliens fit back in, all the cards will fit in, and they'll be divided up in the way that they're supposed to. This one then goes on top of that, and you can see here there's a circle here. Inside this one, it shows the fire and the mechanics one. There's basically a space for everything. All of these guys have their own unique spaces. Here's a spot for the tokens, the sound markers. So you actually have extra room in here to put in any of the things that you need to put in. But as you can see, everything has a space. And then this goes on top of it, which is even better because that's going to keep everything in its space. And if anything falls out, it'll be just a little bit. What's also great is that means you can take this out, set it on the table, and everything's ready to go. You're not going to have to continuously divide everything back up. Then, right here, all of your character boards, your intruder board, this card, and this Nemesis bag can all fit here. Got all this stuff on top. And with it put away correctly, the box then closes clean and flush with the bottom. So, looks like there's a little bit of it. You know what I mean though. When you get it, there's like a gap of like that. So once you put everything in there, it's pretty much there. So, what I also wanted to do was, if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe. I will be painting this game up and doing a full review. I'm saying that also at the end, but because this is recorded after I recorded the end, we're going out of order here. So let's open this. This is the Kickstarter bonus content, and that comes with a very special letter to me, the backer. Oh wow. Tells you how to like fix anything that broke and how to contact them if you need it. That's really cool. That's really awesome, because this will be a lot of people's first miniature games, most likely, or games with miniatures in it. And then we've got a coin. This is for their new game that, of course, I backed, and now I'm really excited that I backed it. Here it is, Tainted Grail. So this is for Tainted Grail. That Kickstarter just ended. We have an art book. Now this is a little weird because we have an art book for a game that was just on Kickstarter. Okay, very, very cool art book. But we don't have the art book for Nemesis, the game that I'm holding in my hands. So that's a little silly. Then we have this deck of cards. Let's open this up. Now these were all not even part of the Kickstarter. All of this stuff just got added in the months following the Kickstarter, where they were just like, hey, secret surprise number 1, secret surprise number 2. And they put all this stuff in. So that's really, really cool that they were able to do that. And that's why a lot of people were complaining at the end of Tainted Grail, why aren't there more like final things? And the rest of us who have been part of these kinds of campaigns with Awaken Realms before was just like, you know what, shut up. It's not a big deal. Trust us. You're going to be getting a ton of free stuff afterwards. So you've got very cool artwork on these. But this is just a simple plain deck of cards. And then it looks like just the artwork on some extra cards here, and there's your jokers. Cool, very cool. Let's see what else we get in here. We have a cat eating Cheetos. We have the Nemesis Untold Stories campaign. So this is a cooperative campaign. 20, or what is this? The full 80 pages of campaign, plus there will be a whole nother campaign coming if you back the Kickstarter. But that is a free gift to anyone. And then we have some extra tokens here, which I will pop out and put into the box, and that is for the cooperative campaign. So let's get back to the main video. If you're interested in seeing these miniatures painted, then definitely subscribe, because I will be painting these guys, and I'll also be showing how I fix any of the things that are wrong with it. I'm sorry if I got any of the component names wrong. I definitely got the alien name wrong. I haven't played the game yet, so I don't know what any of these things are yet. But I really, really appreciate you all watching. Don't forget to like and comment about what aliens or heroes you would like to see painted first, and I will see you soon with a review of this game. Thank you so much again. I'll see you all later.